Hey guys, I've been playing Moonglow Bay since it was released. It's currently on PC, Xbox, and GamePass. Now, there are some things that I very much dislike about this game. There are things that I love about this game, and it seems there's quite a bit of controversy surrounding this game. So I thought it'd be fun to talk about all of this. Just be aware, I am going to be talking about some of the bugs I've encountered in this game on day one, and I imagine that most of these bugs will eventually get fixed in a patch, hopefully. But either way, I'll try to keep you updated in a pinned comment down below if they do fix any of these issues. Moonglow Bay is one of those chill, relaxing games where you go fishing, make money, fix up the place, and talk to people. Sort of like Stardew Valley or Animal Crossing, but more focused on the fishing aspect. These are some of my favorite types of games, so when this was first announced, I just knew that this would be my new jam. Super excited to jump in. I already love the intro screen, the music, very nice. But then we get to the character creator. And let me tell you, generally there are two types of people. Those that love customizing their character in an open sandbox world, and those that like a strictly tailored story about specific characters. Well, this game is neither of those things.
What a goddamn hellhole.
First, you get to choose from 4 ugly characters. Okay, to be fair, that's subjective. Someone out there likes these characters. I don't actually think they're ugly, it's just I'm not a fan. So I'll just pick all of the default settings then, no problem. Looks like I'm this lady, or I guess I'm this person. Name. There's no default name. Or even a randomized name. Fine, whatever, I'm Fart. Who is your partner? Oh, hell no. A big old burly lumberjack is not gonna be my partner. And what is this? They suddenly have default names now. Fine. I'm straying away from the default option this time. I'm picking the old lady instead. Old person. So, I kind of hate the character customizer. There aren't enough options, and the defaults don't exactly feel very tailored. But it looks like my last name is Fisher, so I guess if I happen to choose the name Cat, I would be a catfisher. Just give me a default name so I can skip through all of this. After customization, your partner teaches you the basics of fishing, and then you kiss. So, I guess that means we're not just business partners then. That's fine. And then literally, the next scene is 3 years later, and our partner is either dead or missing. Also, you have this dog that gets in your way, but I'm sure there are some people that would like the option of choosing a cat. Now, what I found out later on is if you pet the dog, he will stop following you, pet him again, and then he will resume following you. So if you want him to stay out of your way, just pet him once and be done. Now, if you guys haven't guessed yet, a lot of the controversy surrounding this game is based on the pronoun option in the character creator. I don't have a problem with pronoun options. I think the more options are generally better. This game is actually severely lacking in options. But I think it was the way that it was presented that got so many people heated. So we'll circle back to this in a minute because I want to show you guys some of the review bombs, criticisms, and rants. Plus, I'll give you my thoughts on this topic and how I think it could have been better implemented. Now, I didn't have the greatest first impression of this game. I didn't realize that I could rotate the camera. I know that sounds stupid, but somehow it wasn't obvious to me. So, as I was trying to navigate the beginning of the game, I kept getting stuck on things. After a few minutes, I finally realized I could adjust the camera, and hey, it helps. You are required to adjust the camera occasionally in order to understand and properly navigate the terrain. Who would have thunk it? It's a little awkward how stepping off a slight edge has you stuck. There's no jump button and you can't get back up, so you'll have to make your way all the way around to find a smaller step back up somewhere. This, to me, just seemed ridiculous. Like, how do you get stuck on the shore? This is literally like all you have to do is step up. That's not a big step. Anyway, the graphics to me are not very appealing. I normally do like this art style, so it's kind of weird to say. It has the appearance of voxel graphics, Now, just realize it's not actually rendering voxels, although sometimes the struggling performance of the game feels like it is. Maybe I've been spoiled by other games like The Tourist, which uses a similar art style to great effect, mind you, and it looks fantastic next to Moonglow Bay. Going back to the performance though, the frame rate is not ideal. This game should be running at 60 frames per second minimum on the Series X, but instead, it's extremely choppy with a bit of screen tearing. I haven't tested it on an Xbox One, but unsurprisingly, I've heard that it performs even worse there. This is something I'm hoping they can fix in a patch sooner rather than later, but after playing for several hours, I did eventually get used to it. The screen tearing does bug my eyes sometimes, especially when rotating the camera a lot, but for the most part, I'm used to it. The other issue I ran into is not being able to open my map. If I tried to, it would just freeze up here. The only way out is by pressing the hamburger or, well, start button, whatever it's called. According to one customer review, if you don't open your map during the beginning tutorial, you won't be able to access it during the game. Well, it didn't ask me, so I never opened it. Again, hopefully they'll fix this. Anyway, after spending a good amount of time with the game, I started really liking it, despite all of the quirks. Fortunately, it gives you the option to change your name in the menu, so you know what? Let's finally pick something a little bit more serious. Oh, crap. It's locked up here. It doesn't matter which buttons I press, I can't rename or exit out of this. I'm guessing they forgot to pop up the on-screen keyboard for Xbox users. This will probably work if you're playing on PC or with a keyboard, so anyway, I just need to force close the game and start it back up. Unfortunately, that reminds me, this game does not auto-save, so be sure you save frequently just in case you run into any issues like this. Looks like I'm stuck with the name Fartfisher for a while longer then. Now, all those issues aside, the core gameplay is what really matters, and it is a lot of fun. As the story goes, Moonglow Bay was once a thriving fishing town, but a beast known as the Ruin terrorized vessels and people were too afraid to go out to sea. The town's economy slowed to a crawl and businesses were shutting down left and right. At the beginning of the game, you get a surprise visit from your daughter. Yes, apparently you have a daughter. And she motivates you to get off your rump. So it's time for you to take care of the beast and help the town get back up and running again. You resume the family fishing business, help fund repairs in town, and slowly get the shops back open again. You can go out fishing on the docks or take your vessel to the open sea, cast your rod, net fish, clean up the ocean, and so much more. Then you can sell fish and home-cooked seafood dishes in your vending machines that you place around town. As you earn more money, you can spend it on boat, town, fishing, or kitchen upgrades. You can pick up quests from the quest board or from talking to residents. They might even be able to give you some tips on where to find certain types of fish. Anytime you learn new information on fish, whether that be from a resident or from your own experience fishing, you'll fill out part of your fishing journal with all of the new details. I love how it shows the animation of erasing the old data in your journal before writing the new details you've just learned. Cook favorite dishes for the current residents to increase your friendship. Once you become very close friends, they will sign your journal. The map is pretty big. There's a lot to explore on land or sea. There's a day-night cycle, as you might expect, and time passes by faster than real time, so it's more like Stardew Valley and less like Animal Crossing in that regard. Residents have daily schedules, so they could be in different places at different times of the day. After a while, you'll probably get to know some of their schedules. The fishing and cooking mechanics are pretty easy to get the hang of, and it doesn't ever feel too tedious, especially after some upgrades. For fishing, you'll cast out, wait for your bobber to dip, then reel it in as you pull the left stick in the opposite direction the fish is swimming. You can also press the left trigger to pull hard on the rod to bring the fish in faster, but this will start to wear you out, so you can't pull hard too many times in a row. For netting fish, you simply cast your net out into a group of fish and reel it back in. As you do so, you'll be able to control the direction a bit with the analog stick. For cooking meals, You have a recipe book. You'll start off with only a few recipes, but you can learn more from residents, buying them in shops, or just cooking a lot will slowly unlock new recipes. Each recipe will have a series of actions to perform, all which involve timing or following a target area in various ways. This definitely keeps things interesting. Each recipe calls for a different series of tasks like chopping, boiling, frying, washing, or baking. The better your timing, the higher the rating of your finished product, and the more you can sell it for. The more times you cook a specific meal, the better your skill at cooking that specific meal. Eventually, you'll earn a 1-star stamp on that meal, then 2 stars, and once you've cooked a meal enough times to earn 3 stars on it, you'll unlock the ability to auto-cook that specific meal, not having to go through the whole song and dance of timing your button presses, which is really cool. So lately, I've been trying to cook everything enough times to where I can auto-cook as many different meals as possible so that I can earn more money with less effort. Moonglow Bay does also support drop-in, drop-out local co-op on a shared screen. When you're in co-op, the second player will be controlling your daughter, and you'll share the same inventory. Both players can do pretty much all of the same things, but you'll have to agree on entering or exiting buildings. The nice thing is that you can double up your fishing tasks. We tried fishing off the boat while the other player was driving, but the line eventually snapped when the boat went too far. When stationary, you can both fish or net off the boat at the same time though. It really feels like there's a lot to do here. Once you start playing, it's hard to stop, and it should keep you busy for many hours. Now, I did want to talk about this review bombing that's happening. So some people are very angry about the pronoun option in the game. Honestly, I don't know why people are so angry about it, but let's take a look at what they're saying. Okay, so now looking through here, there are a lot of people bringing up the bugs and performance issues. We'll skip over those. We've already talked about the problems I experienced. I'm going to jump only to the reviews talking about the pronouns. Okay, so here's actually a positive one. As a female gamer, I had to play as a male character in most games and would have never given a game 1 star because of it. Including the choice of pronoun is a choice. It doesn't hurt those of you complaining. It will make others feel accepted. We all deserve to feel accepted. That's pretty fair, I think. Okay, here's another one. Pronouns? No thanks. Pronouns. I stopped there. I play games for fun, not for controversial and divisive political statements. Perfectly good game. Very meditative, but not overly simplistic either. It respects that it's probably not your first game. It's only being review bombed because a bunch of sensitive conservative snowflakes are freaking out that it asks what pronouns to use. Okay, you don't know that they are conservative. That's an assumption that's going to divide people. That being said, I do think it's childish to give a game a bad review over something like this. Pronouns? Why? Just why? Your pronouns are your gender, and your gender is in your pants. Grow up. 1 star. Look, everyone's entitled to their opinions, but I don't think this is something that's worth fighting over in the review section. One thing I can't stand is when people use the ratings and review sections for anything other than an actual review of the game. This goes for any site, Amazon, Steam, or Xbox. Slow, stupid game made for those insane times and the rainbow lovers out there who think that there are more than 2 sexes and that believing oneself to be an it or a tree or a they is not straight up Looney Tunes. Oh, and definitely let's go Brandon. Garbage. Never mind the interjection of their BS politics. It looks like blah 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 blah. Okay, look, this isn't political. I'm sick of everything being turned into politics. I'm also sick of politics being turned into something else like racism. Stop tying politics to everything. That's funny right there. I don't care who you are. All the people raging because the game asks for effing pronouns, LOL. They ain't asking you to change genders. Great chill game. I wish Xbox would come delete the reviews about the pronoun crap. It's trash to review a game due to that. I have 3 hours in and so far it's great. Ignore the ignorance of the small-minded and check it out. Yes, please leave the review section for actual reviews. Crazy. This world has literally gone crazy. It's a game, not a political stand. Bad reviews because a game asks your pronoun? Give me a break. Wow. And here I thought gamers were the more enlightened folks around. I guess toxic hate abounds everywhere, and I'll include a bit of knowledge for you oh-so-intelligent reviewers. Pronouns are a social issue, not a political one. Exactly, there you go. Brandon would approve. I keep seeing this name Brandon. I have a feeling that this Brandon person must have made a call to action to review bomb the game. Too political. I like games, not a medium for politics. Oh my god, it sounds like the only thing you really need to do is stay out of the review section, I guess. Liberal City. Why put pronouns for a game? That alone shows the target community. Pronouns. Asking for pronouns is stupid garbage, along with the terrible frame rate. Let's go, Brandon. And then, yeah, it's just a bunch of low effort comments from here on out. Anyway, so here's my 2 cents on the whole thing. I'm old. When I was growing up, this wasn't a thing. I understand that some people feel that they're being forced to participate in something that doesn't make sense to them. At the same time, I've spoken with so many people online that I've grown to love and respect enough that it just comes down to being and treating others like a good human being. If someone makes such a simple request, like referring to them as they, I try to do that for them. They appreciate it. And likewise, I wouldn't expect everyone to participate in using preferred pronouns. There are all types of people out there with different personalities. Let's not woke scold anyone. I think the worst thing you can do to argue a case is to bring hate or judgment into the picture. That only turns people away and brings with it a negative association. Now back to the game. How would I fix this? Coming at this from a professional perspective, I would suggest not making such an impact with this initial pronoun prompt, choose your pronoun. It might be jarring to some people with how it comes up, and like I've said, some people already have a negative association with this word. So to make this more friendly for all types of people, I would probably ask the player to choose their character like they do, and then show a default pronoun and name associated with that character. So let's say they choose the character Taylor. By default, show Mr. and the name Taylor along with an OK button. If the player selects Mr., then it could show them other options like Mrs. and Mix. If the player selects the default name Taylor, then they could switch that to whatever they want. Or they could just hit the OK button and go with whatever is currently set. If they pick the character Robin, make the default Mrs. and of course the default name Robin. This way, people like me that prefer not to customize can just pick a character and go with the defaults. You still have the same pronoun options, but it doesn't have that same in-your-face impact on people. It's subtle, and look, I get it, you shouldn't have to be subtle, but this is the state of things in 2021. I'm a bit surprised that we only have 4 characters to choose from and no skin color options. I would suggest adding a bit more customization too. Anyway, that's just my opinion. Let me know what you guys think about any of this, or the game in general. I really hope we get some bug fixes soon because I really do like this game. Again, I'll pin a comment down below and try to keep it updated with the status of any of the bugs and performance issues I've mentioned. Moonglow Bay is currently available on PC, Xbox, and GamePass. Hopefully, after some bug fixes, we'll see it on other platforms like PlayStation and Switch, but who knows. Look, at the end of the day, I just try to keep things professional and treat other people with respect. We're all human. Love you all. Thanks for watching. Until next time, I will see you later.